mind is a powerful thing. It's what develops us yet hinders us if we don't maintain it right. But if you can master your mindset, then you'll win at a lot of things. So what is mindset? It's how we view things, how we view ourselves, how we view circumstances. It's how we make decisions. And mindset isn't something that we're born with. It's something that we develop. And the good thing about mindset is that it's always reshapeable. How we develop our mindsets is dependent on our environment. Usually it starts from our parents. Our parents will teach us on many lessons. Some of us grow up not really having a figure in our lives to teach us these things and to help us understand how we keep going when things go wrong. And so we might develop more of a negative mindset. You might believe that actually things don't happen to people like us, or that things are out of reach and unachievable because that's what you were told. But that isn't true. Things can always get better, but you will have to learn to let go of these beliefs that you didn't realize had been influenced on you. Something like the law of attraction, in my opinion, is about building a more positive mindset. The attracting part is the confirmation bias that your brain is already looking for the good things that are happening. If you tell yourself that good things don't happen for people like me, then bad things will continue to happen because your brain is actively searching for all the negative things. However, if you shift this and start looking at the positive things and say, good things can happen for me, all you'll be searching for is all the good things that can affirm this. And so this mindset will shape your outlook on every aspect of life. Most importantly, it will affect how you behave, whether you believe it is what it is, or whether you believe it is what I can make it become. So how do we build a better mindset? It probably isn't going to come as a surprise, but you do need to learn about yourself first. How do you approach things when they don't go your way? Do you see it as a setback, or do you see it as just part of the process? Do you find yourself curious to try new things, or do you completely avoid it because you don't think that you're capable of even doing it? Identifying your limiting beliefs is a good place to start because you can finally see where you might be holding back. And just remember, it's okay if you've realized that you are doing this, because the most important part is that you can now see this and you can move forward. And a lot of the success comes down to the way that we believe in ourselves. Some of the top entrepreneurs were doing things that no one else believed in, but the entrepreneurs did because they believed that they could do it. So you owe it to yourself to believe in you, because why not you? That's why affirmations are quite powerful, because there's a lot to be said in the way that we talk about ourselves and the words that we use. It's not about being perfect and saying that we're the best, but it is about recognizing that we're competent in areas, and that does hold value. So using more positive language will give you a different view on things, a better way to see things, maybe a view that you never saw before. And as we build the confidence in ourselves, it's time to start learning. Our best way to learn is by making mistakes. You can't spend your life avoiding mistakes, because actually you're going to end up making more mistakes. I'm talking more about taking on challenges and facing up to fears. Now, there was a time when I used to go mountain biking with my dad, and I loved it. I would never touch the brakes. I was fearless going downhill. But that all changed when I hit a rock in the middle of the trail. Now, I went flying and I hurt myself so badly. Now, you would think after that I would probably just say I am never going mountain biking again because I hurt myself really bad. However, what happened was that my dad shouted to me, "Get back on your bike." And at first I was like, what, is he crazy? I don't want to get back on my bike. I'm in pain and now I don't feel like I want to go cycling anymore. But the reality was that he was right. I had to get back on my bike, because firstly, if I didn't get back on my bike, it was going to be a really long trip back home, because the only way to get off this trail was to carry on the trail. There was no way to get off. Secondly, if I hadn't have got back on my bike, I would have feared it. I would have never wanted to do it again. However, that wasn't what it was about. Sometimes in life we are going to fall over and we are going to hurt ourselves, but you have to get back up. And I soon learned that sometimes part of the process is falling over. We learned that actually our brakes are there for a reason, and we might not need to use them completely, but just using them to slow down a little bit will give us the time to focus. And that sometimes the more you fall over, the more you'll learn how to keep yourself upright. And there's a lot to be said about these lessons because they also teach you resilience. Our mindset is what helps us learn to cope with the daily stresses and adversities that we might face. But it helps us learn to cope in a healthy way. You will end up moving away from feeling like the victim of the situation to feeling more stronger and wanting to take things back into your control. Some of the most inspiring people to me have some of the most horrific backstories that you would have thought, how on earth did you keep going? And what kept them going was their mindset. They didn't give up. They didn't believe that this was it. They never lost hope. So what you must always remember is that if you're not happy with something, maybe the way that life is going right now, then just remember you can always change this. And sometimes that requires looking deep inside yourself and having a look at your mindset. You still have the power to choose how you think, how you feel, how you do things. So choose wisely.